Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentleman. I'm Chris. I started this channel because I'm a fan of craft beer and I'm on a limited budget, so I wanted to demonstrate it's possible to enjoy good quality beers without having to break the bank. And so the beers that I review on this channel usually come in around the $2 price range, and such is the case with today's selection. I paid $2.29 for this 16-ounce can of California honey from Pizza Port Brewing Company. It is a blondeale brewed with honey, has a 4.8 BBV. I'm sorry, 4.8 ABV. Typically, blondeales come in between 3.8 and 5.5. Don't have an IBUs for you. Was not on the website, not on the can either. Um, Blondeales, if you go to Beer Judging Certification Program, BJCP as the app is known, and I highly recommend it to you if you're a fan of beers and want to learn more about different varieties and how they started and what their nuances are. You should definitely check out BJCP, whether you get the app or whether you just go to their website and look at information there. But blonde ales are usually, as they put it, created by um, breweries that have the inability to do lagers. And I'm assuming that means that they don't have cold storage because I'm not sure what else. I've made a couple of lagers, and yeah, you do have to keep it in a cold storage. Um, but I'm not sure why a brewery would not be able to do a lager other than that if there's just no space for cold storage in order to do the lagering. Um, so blonde ales are the alternative to that. Um, Honey is a very common ingredient in blonde ales, and among the homebrewing community, blonde ales are considered the least challenging beer to brew. So there you have it. Honestly, I've never been that big a fan of blonde ales. More often than not, I think they're so-so. Uh, Between the two, I'd much rather have a lager. Rather have a well-crafted lager. But they do come through every once and again. This particular can is 4 months old, so it's well within range of um, the consumption time. Quick notes from the reviewing community. Five of my friends on Untapped have given this beer a cumulative score of 3.30. 4,500 of us have given it a score of 3.55. Beer Advocate has only 50 rankings, giving it an 82 cumulatively, which on their scale is good. I myself, oh, and the average score was 3.61 on Beer Advocate. I myself have reviewed five Pizza Port beers. My average score for their beers is 3.80. There you have it. Well, this is going to be kind of a, I'm not going to be, this is not going to be a long-winded review by any stretch of the imagination. There's not a lot to say about blondes. I mean, I pretty much told you everything there was. I'm going to read you what it says here on the can, though, which is, experience the taste of California from the palm of your hand. California honey is light and refreshing, with a hint of sweetness and a crisp finish. The honey-soaked blonde ale has been a Pizza Port favorite since the early days. Now you can take the sweetness of California with you wherever you go. Cheers. So there's that. All right. And I'm going to be using my British pint glass. I do not have a nonic. That is what is recommended for um, lagers and blonde ales. But British pint works just as well. The distinction between this, if you notice, these little indents right here, and the fact that it doesn't spring out towards the top, like the Boston shaker glasses you normally see at breweries. Once again, if you want to watch my series about beer glasses, by all means check that out. But I'll put it to you this way: long and short is this is you can't go wrong putting a beer in this glass, even if it's a an imperial saison, a beer that normally goes into a tulip. If you put it into a pint glass, you've done something better than try to drink it directly from the bottle or can. Although occasionally a brewer does suggest that you drink something directly from the bottle or can, usually that's nitros. But I always go with the brewer's recommendations. Honestly, if I'd gone to Pizza Port's website and they said, pour this into a sponge, which is a tall, slender glass, which you'll see and you've seen if you've watched this channel me drink out of many times. That's what I do. I always go with the brewer's recommendations. So anyway, the closest I had to Nonic was this British pint glass. Okay, what you are seeing and I love when this happens, you're actually seeing the color of the beer. More often than not, the camera adds at least 1 or 2 shades to make it darker. That is not the case with this. That head is actually fairly resilient, nice and foamy. I'm going to describe that as medium-high carbonation. There is, plenty of carbonation, but it's not crazy carbonation. The head really is kind of remaining. I'm kind of surprised by that. I'm going to give this a quick beard wipe and see what I come across. Yeast, mostly. That's what I really smell more than anything is yeast. I'm going to stick my schnoz directly in and see what I can come across. Okay, I'm smelling the honey for sure. I'm getting almost a floral smell from some of the hops. I'm not getting so much malt in the bouquet. Let me give it one more. Yeah, I'm smelling the honey and floral hops and definitely lots of yeast, and it's kind of surprising because normally it's well, I guess I'm not sure what kind of yeast they used. Obviously, they didn't use lager yeast, otherwise they would have made a lager. But anyway, there you have it. Pretty good color. The head's still holding fairly strong. Let's get to drinking. Cheers. Okay, I'm going to describe that as probably a medium mouthfeel, a little bit of spikiness, no alcohol burn. Of course, what did I say? At 4.8 ABV, it's not even 5% ABV, so when you don't even log a 5% ABV, you're not really expecting much of an alcohol burn or any at all. A little bit of sweetness, actually a little bit of tartness on the back end, and I do mean the tiniest bit of tartness. Like it's very sweet start, and then as the flavor rolls across your tongue a little bit more, you get just a little hint of tart. And I think that's kind of like honey, Oftentimes with honey, you taste it and you get the sweet right away, but then if you let the honey roll around in your tongue, say if you're drinking hot tea or something, and the honey has a chance to roll around in your taste buds, it starts to pick up just the slightest tartness, almost like a citrus tartness. And that's what I'm experiencing here. This is definitely a honey beer. Um, Honey is pretty much the predominant flavor. It does have like a slight biscuity flavor, like you might expect from say an amber or a pale ale, but just a very slight, almost almost not there, but just the slightest note of it. I'm a little surprised at how nice the lacing is. There you can see now I don't have a glare on the glass. Yeah, the lacing is actually a little nicer than I thought it would be for such a low ABV. Um, okay, it's pretty good. It's a blondeale. It's not often, and in fact, I don't think I've ever gone woohoo for a blondeale. Like I said, it's not a variety that I'm normally crazy about. I don't know anybody who really is crazy about blonde ales. But anyway, it's a good beer. Um, I think 3.5, and that's including an extra 0.25 for it coming in a can, is plenty high enough score for this beer. Not bad, not great, not exceptional. It's a refreshing beer. I'll put it to you that way. So anyway, not a bad choice, but nothing to write home about either. And I do think that Pizza Port has better beers, and I forget they are out of Carlsbad. That's right, Carlsbad, California. I thought that was right. So yeah, they're out of Carlsbad, and they're good guys. And as you can see here, they've got the independent. Here we go. Independent, independent craft brewer. Anytime you see that little logo there with the upside down bottle, you know you're drinking an actual craft beer. Well, guys, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, drink good beer and don't break the bank doing it. Cheers.